Bismillah, assalamu alaikum. This is your sister Naima B. Robert here, and I'm an award-winning author, editor, and coach. And today I'm coming to you in two capacities. One as an author, but the other as a mum. I have 5 children, alhamdulillah, and this lockdown Ramadan that we have been through has really opened up a whole world of amazing books for my girls and I. So I just wanted to share with you the top books that I have been using this Ramadan, or that my daughters in particular have been enjoying this Ramadan. And of course, majority of these books are, applicable and relevant outside of Ramadan. So if you didn't manage to get hold of these during Ramadan and you think that they look good, please do visit the vendors and buy them anyway, because we've got summer coming up and books are always good, right? Like, we don't need an occasion to read books. So let's dive in to my list of books that have helped us make the most of our time in our lockdown Ramadan. So the first book I'd like to share with you is actually by a dear friend of mine, Fatima Barakatullah, and it is called Khadija, Mother of History's Greatest Nation. It's published by Learning Roots, and it's basically a mini novel. Well, it's not a novel, it's actually a biography. But it's written in such a style that the kids read it literally like a novel, okay? So it's a chapter book, as you can see. It doesn't have pictures or anything like that. But my daughter read it before and it stayed with her, and she loved it this Ramadan as well. And she basically picked it up and she did not put it down until it was done. So Khadija, Mother of History's Greatest Nation, if you haven't got it, definitely worth getting. I would say age range, maybe 8, 9 plus, depending on their level, inshallah. Okay, and here's another favorite in our house from Learning Roots, and it is the Read and Rise book. And I really had the intention of teaching my youngest, Amani, who's now 8, to read Arabic properly this Ramadan. And the amazing thing about this book is that it actually comes with a pen called a kitab, which is really cute. And, basically the pen allows them to read along with the book. So you'll see, like, when they're learning the letters, you'll see on the pages like this, you can actually touch the page with the kitab and it will say the sound that's on the page. So I was using this a lot in Ramadan, and we will continue to use it afterwards because it's been really helpful for them, mashallah, in getting their letters right. And actually, a funny story. As some of you may know, I lived in Egypt with all my children at one point, and my 2 girls were born there. So they went to Egyptian school, they went to Arabic school. So when we came back to England, my eldest daughter, Maryam, who has her own channel, was reading Arabic, okay? And she had memorized Quran, I think up to Surah Jumu'ah. And when we came to the UK, unfortunately, a lot of that basically fell off the wagon. My bad completely, but it did. And this Ramadan, the beautiful thing, and the thing I'm so grateful for, is that she, using that Read and Rise book, she basically revised her Arabic reading, and she revived her Arabic reading. And then when she started actually reading Quran, she used this book from Learning Roots, which is also really, really good, mashallah, because it's just really clear in terms of the layout. You can see it's got the tajweed rule numbers, and it's also compatible with the kitab, so they can actually press on it and hear the ayat being read out, mashallah. And she basically started reading Surah An-Naba, and Naba, and we couldn't believe it. Subhanallah, we've been in this country for about 3 years and she's not really been reading. And mashallah, this Ramadan, alhamdulillah, from one of the many blessings of our Ramadan, was that she started reading Quran again. So now she's back reading, and this is a really, really helpful book for the children. It's not a full mushaf, so they've just got the juz in here, and if you do have the kitab, then they can literally just use that to do their muraja'ah, their memorization and their revision independently. So love that, and definitely one to have if you don't have it yet. Right, so moving on, I want to share a couple of books with you that my youngest particularly enjoyed. And the first one is this Migo and Ali, love for the prophets. Okay, I'm sure you're all familiar with the amazing Zainab Mian, who is the author and publisher of these books. But what was wonderful about this Amigo and Ali book is that it tells the stories of the prophets in a really child-centric way. And it covers the main points of each of the prophet's stories, but in a really child-friendly, child-centric way. And my daughter just, literally, the books came and I sent her to bed and I went to check on her, and guess what? She wasn't sleeping. She was reading. But if my daughter is staying up late at night reading about the prophets, then I am all for it. I don't know about you. So Migo and Ali, mashallah, definitely a favorite in our house, mashallah. And another book as well by Zainab Mian is this one, Du'as for Kids. We used this one as well, reading a dua every day. That one was really, really helpful, mashallah. And she also has a book called How to Pray. And my children were actually quizzing each other on the tashahhud, just to see like who was doing it correctly and, you know, who was, you know, saying something else. So that was really, really helpful, mashallah. So that was good. And then here is a surprise one. This jumped out. It was on my girl's bookshelf, and my daughter comes down and she says to me, oh, there's one book that I like to read before I go to bed every night. I was like, which one is it? She says, the gratitude one. I said, which one is it? And then she showed me this Alhamdulillah 4 series book. And the Alhamdulillah 4 series is published by Ayina, and you may be familiar with them. And it's basically, subhanallah, like just little paintings and simple things to be grateful for, and, you know, really relatable things, you know, that everybody, children and anyone else can you know, can identify with. But she just really, really enjoyed it, mashallah. And she read it from cover to cover. And she said, I like to read it before I go to sleep. So, you know, if my 8-year-old tells me, you know, I like to read this Islamic book before I go to sleep, I'm like, yeah, you're getting a thumbs up from me, mashallah. So there are a couple of books as well that I was gifted by Anafia Gifts, and I will link to them in the comments. But beautiful, beautiful books. I had seen them around, I hadn't got my hands on them, and then one of them was sold out. And Anafia Gifts sent them to me as a gift, and may Allah reward you, sis, for that amazing gift, because they are these amazing, amazing books by Nda Hassan, and mashallah, 2 gorgeous, gorgeous hardback books full of amazing illustrations, so much detail. Oh, so scrummy. Love them. And this one is very, very multicultural, very diverse, very inclusive book on Ramadan around the world. So looking at the different cultures, the different traditions, the different foods, and of course the illustrations incorporate the clothes and also the decor of each of those places. So super juicy for our kids to kind of read through and enjoy. And for those of you who like to do a little bit more with your books, a fantastic resource for jumping off into some map work, you know, some study of, you know, the geography of these places and stuff like that. So we really enjoyed that one. And this one is her new one, and Hassan's new book, The Most Powerful Night. And really happy to see a book on Laylatul Qadr. I don't think we have many books that are specifically about Laylatul Qadr, mashallah. My daughters really enjoyed this one, and it really kind of got them excited about Laylatul Qadr and finding Laylatul Qadr. So really, really enjoyed that one, mashallah. Definitely a soon-to-be classic, and definitely one that you want to have on your shelf, inshallah. And I'm just reaching behind me because I want to just share 2 more books with you before I finish up this video. So the other 2 books that we've enjoyed this month have been, well, I have to bring this one, of course, my Ramadan Moon book. Now, you know, a fairly established, mashallah, classic. You know, it's been going since 2009, people. 2009 this was published, and it's still going strong, walillah alhamd. So much to love about this book, mashallah. You know, I still enjoy reading it, and as the author, if I still enjoy reading it, then I think that I'm quite happy with that, mashallah. But I hope that you guys have also been enjoying this particular book this Ramadan. And then a couple of days ago, we were treated with another book of mine that came in the mail, which was very, very, very special. And it is this new one, Let It Go, learning the lesson of forgiveness with Mufti Menk. And super excited to introduce this one to all of you. I enjoyed the writing process so much, and the illustrator just did a gorgeous job of bringing out the emotions of a child who just finds himself frustrated just through daily activities, daily things that happen to all of us, just finding himself getting more and more frustrated and just not wanting to let go. As you can see, poor little thing, he's got his big bag of grudges that he's carrying with him all day. And it was just such a pleasure to work with Mufti Menk on this project, and it's his first children's book, so we're all super excited to launch that in a couple of weeks' time. There will actually be a live reading of this book on Eid Day on the One Eid platform, so do look out for that. Inshallah, we'll try to link to that. But that rounds off my collection of the books that made the most difference to my children this Ramadan. So I hope that you will go to all the links in the description, that you will support all these amazing creators that we have in our ummah who are doing so much to bring beautiful books to our children's lives. And subhanAllah, it really is touching for me, because the very reason I started writing was because I couldn't find these beautifully created, beautifully written, beautifully illustrated, wonderfully produced books that talked about my son's identity and our way of life. And that's why I got started, and I know that that's why so many of you amazing authors who I have talked about today decided to start writing, so that our children could have something to have and to hold and to be proud of, mashallah. So please do support all the authors and all the publishers who are putting these books out there. And please do not accept any free PDFs of any author's work, because the authors, the illustrators and the publishers invest time and money into getting these books out to you and perfecting their craft. And the last thing and the worst thing that can happen is for your work to be stolen and distributed. So please do not do it yourself, and never accept any free PDFs. Always try to buy from the authors, from the publishers, from local booksellers where you can, and support this industry so it can keep growing. And if you would like to be one of the authors of one of these amazing children's books that literally transform our children's childhood, then just remember that I do help people like you to get their ideas together and actually create an amazing story in my children's book incubator. So if that's something that sounds like you want to explore, then please just send me a message and let's chat. But in the meantime, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope you get all these books, and I hope that they bring so much barakah to your families, inshallah. And I will see you next time I do another one of these rundowns and recaps, inshallah. For now, please accept all my salams and my best wishes for your Ramadan and your Eid. Taqabbalallah minna wa minkum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.